home buyers are actively looking, and with mortgage rates stabilizing, now is the ideal time to get your home sold for maximum dollar. Make the smart choice. Hire the agents we're recommending, Chad and Sandy Newman. Look, you may have what you think is a problem, and it's really not one at all. You want maximum equity from your home, but not sure how? Leave that to Chad and Sandy, because they are making you this guarantee. Your home will be sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Lynn in Orange Park, I wanted to move to be closer to family. Heard about Chad and Sandy's success guarantee on the radio. I hired them. My home sold above list in 3 days. Call the agents we're recommending, Chad and Sandy, at chadandsandy.com, 904-414-6200, 904-414-6200, or chadandsandy.com.
David here with Royal Pest Services. The cool down is coming, and with that comes the pesky rodent. Visit royalpestservices.com to schedule a complimentary roof and attic inspection to check for access points and any evidence of previous activity. Now offering military and first responder discounts.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Royal Pest Services. Florida head coach Billy Napier, still reflecting on the loss to Arkansas, pointed to an area of the offense that will need to improve as they face LSU.
Third and medium is the area where I'd like to have a few back in terms of decision-making, screen execution, protection.
For FSU head coach Mike Norvell, having had the Seminoles lock up a spot in the championship game so early, the challenge is making sure the team is not looking ahead to that game with currently an unknown opponent. He says deal with what's in front of them.
We'll see that game in 3 weeks, but this is about right now. If we don't do the steps necessary this week, this game, go get better as a football team, continuing to grow. I'll say the same thing next week.
Jacksonville Icemen defeated Savannah's Ghost Pirates in the East Coast Hockey League. In the NHL, Florida Panthers defeated the Washington Capitals in overtime. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
At 10:03, it's 73 degrees. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I don't think it's a measuring stick. I think it's you're playing a great football team, and we've played some really good football teams already. And, our guys have battled and hung in there. It's just going to be another one of those tough, physical, hard games.
San Fran Jags this week is a really good game.
That's the best game of the week.
If and when Trevor wins this game, do you know what question will be on every single sports talk show on Monday? Is Trevor Lawrence and the 7-2 Jags, is he actually the NFL's MVP?
Trevor drops. Looks, fires, deep downfield, got a man, that's Christian Kirk along the left sideline. Touchdown, Jacksonville! Trevor Lawrence and Christian Kirk.
If you want that home field advantage or try to play for home field advantage, you got to do it at home. That's why they call it home field advantage. So we've just got to focus in on that and just continue to improve and play our best ball down the stretch.
Great team coming in here. We get to play at home instead of having to go to the West Coast, things like that. I mean, that's definitely good for us. So the fans are going to be huge. I mean, obviously we got a lot of momentum right now, and they're a huge part of that. And just bringing that, we've been really successful on the road this year. We need to start winning at home more, and that's a big part of with our fans as well. And I know that's what they're looking forward to seeing. So we just need all we can get, all that home field advantage.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Mike DeRocco, and
my pocket,
Dylan Denmark.
All right, welcome in everybody. Happy Thursday. The Jags are in fact back at home against the San Francisco 49ers at the Bank on Sunday. Good morning. This is Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, and the breakfast buyer, Mr. Michael DeRocco. What do you have to say for yourself, D-Rock?
Pat Mahomes stinks.
It's a good thing ESPN pays those big salaries to all their beat writers.
I texted you guys on Sunday afternoon. Like, I don't even think we were midway through those 4 p.m. games.
Nah, just give me your order.
I was like, I'm buying this week. Let me have let me have your Chick-fil-A orders now.
You were right.
Yeah, I was. And Dylan's like, oh, no, maybe not. Oh, that's not. You got time. And I'm like, dude.
It did come down to the final 4 minutes on Monday Night Football.
It did, which I was asleep for, thankfully, because I'm glad I wasn't watching it when it happened, because then I would have been even more angry.
No, worst way to lose, though, for me on Monday was I'm going Garrett Wilson versus the Chargers defense, right, in a back-and-forth game all night. And I'm up by less than a point. Zach Wilson, untouched, just runs out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage with, 20 seconds left. Sack. That's a sack. So Chargers defense picks up a point. And, all he has to do is throw it through the back of the end zone. Yeah. Anything. But, no, I'll just run out right here. No, maybe 1 yard in front of the line of scrimmage.
Now you know what the Jets feel like about relying on Zach Wilson.
Bro, seriously, as we'll talk a lot about Trevor today, right? And it's going to dovetail with our question of the day today. Great open there by Pockets, putting that together. Nice job, Pockets.
Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. That's all the praise you get today, unless you leave me good players in the Breakfast Bowl. But that draft is just a sloppy mess of quarterbacks after the number 1 overall pick, man. I mean, Wilson, Lance. I mean, come on. Neither one. All those guys have both been moved on from, even though Wilson's back in only due to injury.
And we'll see what happens with Fields.
Could be moved on from, right? I mean, honestly, I don't think, look, Tyson Bagent gets the Panthers signing, but if he wins, I mean, his record percentage-wise and in terms of the numbers he puts up, superior to Justin Fields. Now, an incredibly small sample size, but they're going to be in position to maybe have the top couple picks in the draft, or certainly one of the top couple. And
you're pretty locked in on getting 2 of the top 5,
right? And so, Tone, you could be looking at a fresh quarterback wide receiver combo. Imagine if you could get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. to go with DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. That's the makings of a pretty good passing attack, right there. And then Mac Jones, who's just like, I feel like if they had a guy they felt was worth a damn, would already be out. They put Bailey Zappi in at times and things like that, but they don't really have an alternative, so they may as well ride it out with Jones.
It's funny because the Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence debate is absolutely the thing where you look at and you go, stats don't tell the whole story. They don't, because there's that graphic going around that compares their stats, and they're roughly similar. I think Mac Jones has a better one-loss record, but they're roughly pretty similar stats, and it's like yes, you can do that numerically, but if you've watched any of those games with any of those guys, you can't sit there and say, this guy is as good as that guy.
Right.
You just can't.
I love stats because I love fantasy football, but at the same time, those are the kind of people that make stat people look terrible, right? Like, come on, there's not a person that's seriously connected with the NFL that wouldn't take Trevor Lawrence over, all those guys. It's ludicrous to even think. But so we're happy with where we're at right now. Trevor, at this point last year, was getting ready to kick this thing into high gear. 9 games left. Was about to go on a 15-2 touchdown to interception ratio run. Coming into it last year, he was 10-6 at this point in time. We're like, this kind of, muddling along. Tony, is he playing, in your minds, I won't even ask you, put the qualifier in. How is he playing right now compared to how he was playing at this point last year? Now he's got the 9-4 touchdown interception ratio compared to 10-6 last year. It's not incomparable, right? But is he significantly better, about the same? How do you see it?
I think he's way better than he was at this point last year. Way better than he was halfway through the season last year. Look, he had the interception in the end zone a couple weeks ago against Pittsburgh, right? But I feel like, talking about the numbers, if you want to compare him just on the raw numbers to a guy like Mac Jones, we do get to watch him every week, right? And I'm watching Trevor Lawrence within these games, and he is still, 4 or 5 times a game he's making a throw that you're like, there's 2-3 quarterbacks in the league that can make that throw, right? Like, he still does that every week. And I get it. The offense isn't clicking the way that we want to see the offense click. Those things aren't happening. But they're winning games by 2 scores. With all these things going on, right? They don't have Zay Jones. They're not at their full force yet on the offensive side of the ball, and they're not winning despite Trevor Lawrence. They're winning with him. With the issues they have on the offensive line, Trevor Lawrence is bailing them out in a lot of situations. Now, there are some where you can't bail them out, right? It's 3rd and 1. They hand the ball off. What's that got to do with Trevor? Right? Like, they decided 3rd and 1, we're going to run. Okay.
Sure.
Right? Like, it makes sense for them to do that in that situation. At some point, if it keeps going the way it's going, they're going to say, you know what? No, we're not taking the ball out of his hands ever in a clutch situation in a game, because he is their most clutch player, I believe.
Yeah, and I'm writing a story for later on this week about trends to watch in the second half of the season for the Jags. And,
Ooh, when does this come out?
Friday or Saturday. I don't know which one. I'll look forward to that. Well, one of them is about Trevor, and a little preview is, I looked at Trevor's numbers during the 5-game win streak, because you look at it and it's like 6 touchdown passes. I mean, on the surface, they don't look impressive.
Sure.
But then when you go back and you look and you compare him to the rest of the league, his passer rating is like 10th, but it's over 100, okay, in those 5 games. His total QBR, which is the ESPN stat that kind of factors in winning and winning plays and the impact on the game and winning the game, he's 3rd in the league in that. His completion percentage, I think, is like 3rd or 4th in the league. So just for the heck of it, just now I went back and looked at, Mac Jones, because we were just mentioning Mac Jones.
Yeah.
So his total QBR at that point is, 32.2, I think, and Trevor's was 73.3. The passer rating, Trevor was at like 100.2, and Mac Jones is at 75.0. So just the numbers, yes, we can make the numbers look whatever we want, but Trevor Lawrence has played really, really good football over the last 5 games. It just may not be the impressive 303 touchdown passes a game that we probably all expected to see from him on a regular basis.
And hopefully we'll get a few of those in the second half.
Yeah, we also thought they'd need it.
True. Well,
right?
that's
to
a big
overcome
factor in
that
it,
defense.
right?
Right.
I mean, right now, the way the defense is playing, don't put the offense in jeopardy is a big part of the game plan, right? Don't put your defense in a bad position either by turning the ball over. Protect the football. It's why we may see more Dearness Johnson in the short term over Tank Bigsby, but Trevor, for the most part, has done a better job protecting the football. At least I feel better about his ball security, this year overall. He's still,
Yes.
Every once in a while he'll let one loose and you're like, where the hell did that come from? But they're becoming fewer and further between at this point in time.
And here's the thing. I may be wrong on this, but I'm 90% sure I'm correct. I need to go back and check it. But they haven't trailed since the first drive of the Colts game.
The Colts game.
Right. I mean,
and that was only, Tony, right, because they answered on their opening drive.
It was a field goal. It was whatever the time was to score their touchdown.
Correct. It was like 6 minutes. I mean, they're playing really good football. And they're playing complementary football, because there have been times when the defense has needed some help, and they've come back and given them, they've come down and scored, and they've come down and, eaten some clock or whatever, and the defense has bailed the offense out, as we know. So they're playing really good football right now. It just may not be as visually impressive as we want.
If you want to hear about Trevor Lawrence, you've come to the right show, because we're going to talk a lot about Trevor Lawrence today. We're going to hear from Trevor Lawrence, who spoke yesterday, coming off the bye week. I'm curious to hear his thoughts about, the ultimate eventual arrival of Zay Jones. Is something we'll get into here with D-Rock. Looks like the one injured player that we can't count on having a good shot to play this week. But today's Chad and Sandy Real Estate question of the day, realizing with 9 games left, last year Trevor Lawrence in those final 9 games threw 15 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. So we ask you today, predict Trevor's TD to interception ratio for the final 9 games of the 2023 regular season. So we'll get into him from every angle that we can today, and accept your responses on social media on that. You can hit us up on the old X machine or Twitter, whatever you're calling it, at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at ESPN Duraco, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Hold my pocket!
641-1010 on the All-Pro Roofing phone lines, or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, or hit us up in the YouTube chat. We've also got the Breakfast Bowl coming up today, as everyone's got full bellies, courtesy of Patrick Mahomes and Mike Duraco, a losing combination if there ever was one, at least for Week 9 in your National Football League season. So that's coming up in hour number 2. In the meantime, let's get into the Jags. We'll hear from your quarterback coming up next. This is Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. You know what? Good way to start your day as you're on the go. Maybe you don't have time to make yourself that full breakfast at home. Danny's got amazing breakfast items out there for you. You'd be shocked maybe if you haven't looked recently at a Gate Station and how many different offerings Dandy has out there, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack time, anything on the go. You want something convenient, but you want something that's quality as well, right? You don't want something you're like, oh man, I'm really regretting eating that a few hours later. Well, Dandy only uses the highest quality ingredients, and they make the highest quality products with them. The Thompson family, a Jacksonville original, have been making Dandy products for over 65 years right here on the First Coast. Support a local family that supports the local sports scene and supports your belly with these delicious offerings. Great variety. The prices always put a smile on your face. Even lower calorie options for guys like me who've been trying to lose and keep the weight off. If you're hungry in Duval, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
This is Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Studios.
JOI, where the pros go.
What a throw and catch!
Stretching the field is a good thing. Having a stretcher on the field is not.
Boy, this is bad news.
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update.
Jacksonville.
On 1010XL.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges the battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Hey, babes, the toilet is running.
Really? Oh, where's it going?
Well, Mr. Funny Man, it's going to our water bill, increasing our monthly costs, which are already sky high. Not to mention the absolute waste of water.
Yeah, okay then. I'll call Duck Rooter.
Toilet running? Clogged drain or leaky faucet? We have your solution. Duck Rooter, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
904-862-6769. Follow the Seminoles' quest back to the college football mountaintop.
I'm RJ Saunders, and I'll keep you tapped in to Tallahassee all season long on the Seminole Report.
Brought to you by your local Ag Pro, your home team on 1010XL.
The year is almost over. Do you need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt-free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit can get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Listen, if you have a ton of equity in your house, and Loan Pronto can help you turn that equity into cash, you can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards, pay off personal loans, or start that home improvement project. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact, so your 3% rate, it's protected. And with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line program, 90% of the time, there's no need for an appraisal. So you can get your money super fast. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards before the new year. Get yourself on solid financial footing before the year ends and call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal Housing Lender, NLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Hunting season is here, so lock and load on that new rifle or shotgun at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Tons of great options with the best prices and no waiting this side of the ditch. Arm yourself with the best at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
The YMCA provides after-school care programs for kindergartners through middle school at over 40 sites across the First Coast. Our programs focus on safety, health, social and emotional growth, and academic enhancement. At the Y, your child can build self-reliance, get help with schoolwork, explore new talents, and develop healthy relationships with others. all in a safe, nurturing environment. Plus, financial assistance is available. Learn more at fcymca.org.
The best time of the year for blue crabs right now at the Blue Crab Crab House. They've been open since 1996, and they are a staple here in Duval. Sundays, you have the Bloody Mary specials, mimosas as well, $2.50 noon until 5 o'clock. Of course, each and every Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oysters. Right off of San Jose on Julington Creek Road, it is the Blue Crab Crab House.
At Farah and Farah, we represent people from all walks of life in matters involving personal injury cases. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter which neighborhood you call home, because everyone deserves justice, dignity, and respect. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count. Call Farah and Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
When you roll into a convenience store for some cold Bud Light, you want to make sure it's, well, cold. Check out the big coolers at Circle K. They make sure it's chilled and ready to go for the big game or party. Swing by Circle K and pick up some cold Bud Light.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a Mike DeRocco Thursday on Jaguars Today. Is brought to you by Lloyd's Heating and Air on 1010XL.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we had a good time on there. I mean, it's hard to have a bad time with those two guys. So that was pretty fun. I'm sure you guys saw all the Photoshop pictures and all that. So that was a good time.
Is Trevor trying to make sure we know that those were Photoshopped?
Maybe, yeah.
Weren't actual, like, hey, this long stuff, it's a wig. I'm really tightly cropped up top.
They, like, ESPN's graphics must have been told, give him the biggest forehead in the history of foreheads.
Oh, yeah,
it's even bigger than Peyton's.
It was the Manning forehead.
Yeah.
Oh,
sure.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Stretched it out.
But Peyton with the long hair looked like Jeff Spicoli at his 30-year high school reunion. I loved it.
Is that an original by you?
Yeah.
Or did you? That's good. I like that.
I
That's
like
a good
that, yeah.
visual. Yeah. I didn't know if you stole that. I mean, it's
No. I tweeted it, too. I'm using that as long as I can.
As Mike Bianchi infamously said probably many times, if you steal it from me, it's been stolen at least twice.
Right.
So, you know,
I'll give
go
credit.
right ahead.
Right. I'll give credit. What did he used to also say? I'll give credit to myself. First, I can't remember how there was always something like he would take something
Probably.
from someone.
I could see that.
Yeah, and then he would be like, I'll give credit to the person who I said it to or something. I don't know what he did, but yeah, love Bianca.
And it's, also along those lines, Pete Prisco will tell you are entitled to
your wrong opinion.
Yes.
Very funny.
We're all entitled to our wrong opinions out there. All right, spoke with Pete this morning, as a matter of fact, and don't want to spoil it, but I think Pete thinks they got a really good chance, the Jags, to win a football game this week. Has he made his official prediction over at Sports?
I don't know.
CBS Sports?
I don't know.
Probably not this early in the week.
I think usually probably Friday.
Yeah, that's usually the day.
Is what they do. All right, let's get into a little Trevor Lawrence discussion here. The quarterback of your Jacksonville Jaguars, you may be aware, right? If not, welcome to being awake for the first time. And I hope the coma went well for you. All right, so Jags and 49ers this week, and the Jags have been all over the damn world, all over the place with rare stops at Everbank Stadium in the recent month and a half, but next couple of weeks we got him at home, and Trevor Lawrence talked about just settling back in after flying all over the crazy world.
Huge. I mean, especially when we talk about the position we're in and how much these games are going to mean. Obviously, no matter where we're at, these are going to mean a lot, especially just the last half of your season is always important, no matter if you have a winning record or not going into that stretch. But just to have that home field advantage, and we've gone through a rough stretch or a tough stretch schedule-wise of just playing on the road, playing in London, Thursday night game on the road, all those things, and now we get kind of more of a, I guess, friendly schedule as far as just being at home.
You know, it's funny. Doug Peterson talked about the home field advantage. That's why they call it home field advantage, right? You got to win the games at home to get yourself home field advantage. The Jags have been undefeated on the road this year. Not that you don't want the playoff games at home, but I do think, D-Rock, there's something about that, and like having gone to Kansas City and gone toe-to-toe with the Chiefs in the postseason last year, right? Just I feel like this team yeah, they'd prefer to have them at home. You'd rather have your supportive crowd. I don't think it's going to faze them that much, any environment that this team has to potentially play in the postseason.
No, I don't think so. Kansas City, I don't necessarily consider that a hostile environment on the road. I think it's a great environment, but I don't feel like I feel like Pittsburgh is a more hostile environment for the opposing team than Kansas City. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Like the threat of physical danger exists.
Well, I mean, it just seems like there's a little bit of an uglier atmosphere to the
I hear what you're saying.
visiting team.
They're passionate fans,
yeah.
but they're not necessarily.
They're nice, and the people in the Midwest are so nice. I mean, I think I've seen people on Twitter talk about the reception they got and being treated very well by Chiefs fans from in the games in Kansas City the multiple years that they've been there recently, and but look, this team should, no matter where they've got to go, all they got to do is look back at October of 2023 and go, we can win anywhere. We can go anywhere and win. There's no place that we could go to where we can go into Dallas and win. They can go into San Francisco and win. They can go into Philly and win. I mean, that's their mindset right now. And honestly, I think the Indy game kind of purged, the bad taste from the first two losses at home this year. I don't think that's.
Well, I don't even think it was necessarily a bad taste. It was just that it's just interesting that they've been that good away from Everbank, Tone. And you do play to have those games here. As many as you can get in the postseason. Without question, you want that environment, supportive environment, crazy crowd and all that. But I just, I think this team is ready to just tell us where we're
good teams
gonna
win
be.
on the road.
Yeah,
that's the
absolutely.
biggest sign that this is a really good team. Good teams win on the road,
and that's what they're doing. And I think every success that they have in every different environment they go into just gives them that little bit more psychological armor for the postseason.
Home road is less of a factor than we're a really good team. We can beat you anywhere, right? Like that's the mentality of the team right now, and it should be. Well, they start this week at home, trying to get that home record turned around against the 49ers, and Trevor was asked about that yesterday.
Great team coming in here. We get to play at home instead of having to go to the West Coast, things like that. I mean, that's definitely good for us. So the fans are going to be huge. I mean, obviously, we've got a lot of momentum right now, and they're a huge part of that. And just bringing that, we've been really successful on the road this year. We need to start winning at home more, and that's a big part of, with our fans as well. And I know that's what they're looking forward to seeing. So we just need all we can get, all that home field advantage.
Let me ask you, is this a measuring stick game for the Jaguars? I mean, look, they've got a bunch of big opponents, right? They still have Baltimore and Cincinnati and Cleveland. And they played Kansas City and Pittsburgh and Buffalo, teams that are either in the playoff hunt or with winning records, what have you. But is this a game where you look at the Niners and you say, when healthy, that roster is probably as good as any in the National Football League. So is this a game where you kind of hold it up and see where you measure up, or are the Jags already on that level?
I think someone asked Doug that the other day, and he said no. It's, two really good teams. I think the players don't view it as a measuring stick game because they feel like they're a really, really good team. I think it's a measuring stick game from the national perception of this team.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the Niners come all the way across country, play at 10:30 or 10 a.m. their time, 1 p.m. here, and beat this team, there will be a perception that this team's not good, that they were frauds. There will be national people that then the national media or the national perception of the team will be just to kind of dismiss this team a little bit and be like, they beat up on a bad division. They had the benefit of the jet-lagged Bills in London, and, they played Derek Carr, who's not very good, and the Steelers can't score in a paper bag. I mean, that's what the perception will be of this franchise if they lose this game, and if they get beat by, 10 or more points. I think that's the measuring stick that it will be for people, around the country. A lot of national media, I think, will view it that way. But
I don't disagree
people
with
here
that.
don't.
No, I don't disagree with that. The reason I asked you is because I thought it was interesting. I went on with Rob Guerrera last night, who's Mike Florio's producer at NBC, but he does the 49ers podcast. He's based out on the West Coast. And, I kind of said, I don't know if this is a measuring stick game because they played Kansas City and they've got Baltimore. They've got enough of these
schedule in the
contests.
back half against the strongest teams in the AFC.
Right. But he said, from the Niners' perspective, they're looking at this as a measuring stick game. Like he said, they're very deferential. Now, I don't know. I'm not out there. None of us are out there every day. But he said they really respect what this team is doing. Like they recognize this is a team that you don't point at and say they have a lot of obvious flaws, and we all talk about the desire for more pass rush. Tony brought up the fact that, hey, the Niners only have 18 sacks this year compared to 16 for the Jags, and they have a rep as being a much better pass rushing team. Now, they've since added Randy Gregory and Chase Young, and that can change throughout the second half of the season. But I thought that was very interesting, that here's a team that is struggling right now. They scored, I think, 30 or more in every game to open the season until the last 3, and they scored exactly 17. Now, Debo's been out a couple of those games. They missed Trent Williams, but he didn't practice yesterday.
Right.
And he's arguably still the best left tackle in the league. So you want to get that pass rush jump starting the second half of the season, Tony. Trent Williams, take the week off. Not going to bother me a bit.
Yeah, I think from a national perspective, you're right. If the Jaguars lose, that will be the story. They aren't what everyone said they were through the first 8 games of the season. And unfortunately, I think if they win, if any of the pieces for San Francisco don't play, they'll say, but they're not at full strength. What does it prove? Like I think that's going to be the national reaction to the Jaguars winning on Sunday, especially if Trent Williams doesn't play. I think the national reaction will be, yeah, but San Francisco's not at full strength, so what? They lost the 4th in a row. When they don't have their guns, they're not the same football team. I think that will be. I don't think it'll be fair necessarily, but I think that will be the reaction. I think for the Jaguars to get that kind of respect from everybody nationally, not only do you have to beat San Francisco, but you have to beat Baltimore and you have to beat Cincinnati. Like, you have to win, I think, all 3 of those games, basically, for everyone to be like, oh, yeah, maybe they are a legit Super Bowl contender. Until they do that, I don't think they're going to give it to them. They're a contender right now.
Sure.
I don't think they have to beat those teams to be a Super Bowl contender, but I think from a national respect perspective, I think they would have to go 3-0 in those games to get there.
I don't know. I think if they lose to San Fran, but they beat Baltimore and Cincy because their team's on the path to the Super Bowl,
AFC.
I think that would be, and they'd be later in the season. And as you get deeper in the season, you're like, wow, they just beat Cincinnati after beating Baltimore, and they do, and all. I think that necessarily could change in the short term. Yes, you beat up San Francisco team, came to your place at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and won. But I think if the Jags ultimately beat Baltimore and Cincinnati, they'll be looked at as a really dangerous team going into the postseason.
The counter argument is this team hasn't had its full complement of players and key reserves at all.
No,
this year.
granted,
never.
But they're not paying attention to that.
But at the same time,
right.
Let's say we're missing Zay Jones this week. If they're missing Trent Williams, it's not comparable.
It's not the same.
Right? And
No.
as important as Zay Jones is to us, Deebo Samuel's got a much bigger national reputation, even though he's not putting up huge numbers this year. Oh, they're without Deebo. So who cares, right?
Yeah.
In the end, win this game,
Yeah.
but if you lose this game and it's hard fought, it doesn't mean all your goals are not still attainable.
Well,
and
and
anything anybody says nationally about you can be, taken with a grain of salt.
The injuries the Jags have had to play through to this point is why we think they're a Super Bowl contender.
Right.
Right, that the team hasn't slowed down at all despite missing their best corner and a Pro Bowl level safety, and the offensive line has been in flux through the first 8 weeks of the season. Like, all these things, we see it from here. I don't think they see it nationally. They see Trevor Lawrence's numbers aren't eye-popping.
Right.
How good is he really? Right? Like, that's the conversation nationally. How good is he really? Right? Like, those kind of things are going on. So what? They're 6-2. They don't think about the week-to-week, day-to-day stuff that we're in, right? Like, we're in the weeds with this football team. The whole country's in the weeds with the 49ers.
Right.
The whole country's in the weeds with the Cowboys.
Right. Nobody's sitting around in Montana going, man, when is Devon Hamilton getting back? And when will he get back to full strength, right? I mean, this team's really going to be
But
dangerous.
to be fair, I'm not in the weeds with the Steelers. I'm not in the weeds with – because, yes, people nationally know that a little bit more for sure, but
like when Cameron Hayward misses games, he's got a much bigger reputation than Devon Hamilton, and he has missed some time.
Sure.
Somebody on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, besides beating the Bills, who are average so far, the Jags have not beat a great team this year. This weekend is our chance. Otherwise, our wins are getting not so great teams. Would you agree? Look, if they beat the 49ers, as the very next texter said, it's lose-lose. Oh, yeah, sure. You beat the Niners, and that's 4 in a row. Like, everyone's beating the Niners right now. So, who cares?
It's on the national perspective. It still counts as a win. It's a big win.
Win the game, goes in the column. It's more important to beat Tennessee and Houston, really. But in terms of street cred, this is the game that's going to give you more cachet.
Mm-hmm. The thing I wonder about, and I don't know because I'm not in all these other cities covering their team.
How dare you?
Does this fan base care more about the national perception and care more about what national analysts say about their team than other fan bases?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, they are killing Danny Cannell right now.
It's hard to know, but I
think they get talked about differently than these other fan bases.
I do think there's
some of that, yes.
Yeah, and there's a history of that where people are dismissive. Anytime anyone brings up London, it's just like
it's lazy.
You're stupid. You're really like you just don't know the facts on the ground kind of situation, and but it continues on. So I absolutely I don't think it's an inferiority complex. I think it's well earned by Jaguar fans that the national media looks at them and say, hey, you know what, I can say anything I want about them. And they may have passionate fans, but it's a smaller number than most other teams in the National Football League. And so if I'm going to piss off anybody, they're low-hanging fruit. I really think, that they feel like there's no repercussions, and Jag fans get their backs up, and I don't have a problem with it. If you want to push back.
No, that's fine.
At the same time, if you want to ignore anything anybody says nationally, that's fine too. Because at the end of the day, you win the game, they can say what they want. They can say what they want. Like, it's all on Brandon Staley or Justin Herbert for blowing that game. Who cares? We won, okay? We won. We advanced in the postseason. Say anything you like at that point in time. Take your L and go home. Let's come back with more Trevor Lawrence talking about different situations the Jags have been, need to improve on third down and short yardage. That's a couple of areas we've talked about a lot this year, so we'll get to that. On the other side, 641-1010 if you want to get in on the All-Pro Roofing phone lines or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day asking you to predict Trevor Lawrence's TD to interception ratio over the final 9 games of the season. It was 15-2 last year. What do you see for him in the remainder of 2023? Mike Dempsey, Mike DiRocco, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Pella Windows and Doors. My house looks great. It feels great. I went with the best. Why would you settle for anything less with your most important investment, your home? Look, I had a broken window, and it was time, man. I'm one of those guys, I'll leave it to the last possible minute, but I needed to replace the windows in my home. They were old, and my house looks so much better. It feels so much better. Not surprising, as Pella Windows and Doors are Consumer Reports' overall top choice for both stylish design and energy efficiency. When you're in the market to replace your windows or doors, visit the Pella showroom right here on Phillips Highway or find them online at PellaJax.com.
All Jags, all NFL. Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. It's where they shifted gears and let it ride. Let's go, let's go! It's the tire outlet drive of the game.
Go out of the shotgun on third down. Has time, crossing pattern complete. Yeah!
On 1010XL.
Yeah!
Mia here and my friends at Small Cakes have big plans for the holiday season with sweet treats and delicious desserts for any occasion, including family celebrations, office parties, holiday gatherings, and more. Plus, join Small Cakes this month for cupcakes and photos with Santa. Santa will be making his rounds to all 3 Small Cakes locations starting November 12th. Photo packages including 3 digital photos and a free cupcake. Visit smallcakesjacks.com for more details and to reserve your photo session with Santa at Small Cakes. That's smallcakesjacks.com.
Brackish Vodka, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is the smoothest local vodka you can find. Made right here in Jacksonville, Florida, 100% from corn, Brackish Vodka is the local gluten-free choice. Brackish Vodka, for those that live life slightly salty, a proud partner of the Jaguars. The next time you're at Champions Mexican Sports Bar, Viva la Vodka, and ask for Brackish Vodka in your favorite cocktail.
This holiday season, sit back and enjoy your time with family and friends. But if you have relatives who always point out the stains in your garage, or friends who talk about the cracks in your patio, we're here to help. Shark Coatings can coat your garage, patio, or driveway before those folks come over for holiday dinner. So now, instead of politics and religion, you can talk about how Shark Coatings transformed your home before the pumpkin pie is served. Shark Coatings, we're ready when you are.
Rhino Shield
Stop paying for paint that doesn't protect. Permanently protect your home while saving tens of thousands of dollars compared to repainting. Say goodbye to water damage, mold, and algae, and enjoy decades of defense against chipping, cracking, and peeling. Beautifully durable colors on any surface, all backed by our 25-year warranty. Shield now and pay later with 0% financing. Request your free quote today at rhinoshieldjax.com.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
From touchdowns to TV. He knows the SEC. Chris Doran joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Tuesday morning, brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah on 1010XL.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Need to enhance your home's curb appeal? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Replacing with new stone pavers will transform your driveway into a stunning work of art. Say goodbye to unsightly concrete and hello to beautiful, durable pavers that last for years. Visit Stonecore today and let's beautify your home together. Stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
If you're getting engaged this holiday season, celebrating an anniversary, birthday, or shopping early for the holidays,
don't miss Beards Diamond's incredible 43rd anniversary sale.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to 43% off.
Shop now in the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Holidays are upon us, and that means family gatherings indoors. Make your indoor air cleaner and safer with Bold City Heating and Air. Say goodbye to viruses, allergens, and dust with Black Friday prices all month on Bold City's duct cleaning and air purification services. Breathe easy and enjoy the holidays worry-free with unbelievable sale prices all month from Bold City Heating and Air, your trusted partner for a healthier home. Visit boldcityac.com.
Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is the sports medicine leader in Northeast Florida. We're proud to be the official sports medicine provider for your hometown teams, including the Jaguars, Sharks, Axemen, Armada, and the Jumbo Shrimp. We have the most cutting-edge resources for sports medicine care, including active armor casting, Alter-G anti-gravity treadmills, and highly trained physicians and athletic trainers. JOI is truly where the pros go, and so should you.
What king in the deck of cards does not have a mustache? The answer next.
Filing any homeowner's claim is really easy with Southern Oak Insurance. Simply file your claim directly with us. We'll handle the vendors. It will save money for you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Silly as it sounds, the King of Hearts is the only king without facial hair. Supposedly a design error.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Life's not complete without music. Friday, November 10th, 8 p.m. at Players Grill Mandarin, Julia Gulia takes the stage with unforgettable performances from the 90s, 2000s, and originals. It's not your average cover band. Players Grill Mandarin, where the neighborhood meets.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous, don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jags are back in the bank on Sunday. QB Trevor Lawrence looks to take their success on the road and bring it to home when they take on the 49ers.
Great team coming in here. You get to play at home instead of having to go to the West Coast. Definitely good for us. So the fans are going to be huge. I mean, obviously we got a lot of momentum right now, and they're a huge part of that. And just bringing that, you know, we've been really successful on the road this year. We need to start winning at home more, and that's a big part of, you know, with our fans as well. And I know that's what they're looking forward to seeing. So we just need all we can get.
Trevor Lawrence, courtesy of Jaguars.com. JTA Game Day Express is back. Save gas and avoid parking hassles as the Jaguars take on the San Francisco 49ers this Sunday. Let them do the driving. With 5 locations and passes starting at $10 on the MyJTA app. To learn more, visit JTAFLA.com. I'm Molly McDonald with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jags Today is brought to you by Lloyd's Heating and Air, commercial and residential on 1010XL.
Well, Lloyd's Heating and Air has a handsome new spokesman, ladies and gentlemen. And Mike DeRocco may have his new social media avatar. I mean, if you don't use this, D-Rock, this seems like a shame.
I mean, who did it?
Note to Gene Fournette, save this, okay? This will come in handy for you in your social media wars.
DJ Delphonic? Is that
yeah,
who did
that's
it?
our man, DJ Delphonic, great supporter of the program for many, many years.
So now do me with, like, Trevor's hair.
Yeah, can we see that one as well, right?
Yeah,
this is, he said.
Do I get to choose?
He tweeted us a picture of D-Rock with the Peyton Manning hair with the 5 head fully intact. That might be a 6 head right there. That's
We're
certainly
rolling
not
up
a 4
on
head.
double-digit heads on
It
that
is
one
getting,
right there.
I mean, you could sell advertising on that forehead that you've got in that
I could
photo.
sell a billboard and a banner.
But
Jeez, it looks even worse when you put it full size on your screen like that. Shut that off. Oh, my God.
I think, that is tremendous.
I'm putting it on YouTube and Twitter right now.
The bad thing is, before I started going to a buzz cut, when I started losing most of my hair, I actually wore my hair in that style way back in the day.
Did you now? I should just throw that photo out there. This person does blank for a living, right? Like, what would you think, like, what this person does for a living? I'm not sure. But thank you, DJ Delphonic. And we do need some D-Rock with the long hair. You can do me like that, too. I could come up with some of my own pictures with the long hair. I've put them out there before. I've got a few from back in the day, my 30-something year ago hippie days.
Mm-hmm.
So they're out there, D-Rock. You ever have long hair? You ever have a mullet, anything like that? Look
Not
at me
a
like
true
that.
mullet, but like in the 80s, everybody had the longer hair in the back. I mean, kind of a mullet, but not really.
Okay. I was full-blown mullet for about a year.
I did not have a mullet. And
that was glorious, dude. Really handsome.
I wish I could pull off a mullet now, but no. Can't happen.
Have you tried growing out just the back? Leave the top short? Just
No,
go.
I have not.
Buzz cut up top?
I think it would look like the worst.
Clash of Styles?
I mean, just, I think I maybe could get like a month into it, and my wife would be, that's enough, get out of the house.
You're getting a lot of love, though, right now on social media. So,
well, that'll change quickly. Don't worry. It's social media, I found, is quite fickle. At
You
times.
think?
I found that out.
Is that right? They'll turn on you in a hurry. All right, let's get back, turn our attention back to the quarterback of your Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, your Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Just simply asking you to predict the touchdown to interception ratio over the final 9 games of the season. It was 15-2 last year, and I think a lot of people thought, hey, man, you know what? Yeah, maybe we won't need to get in as many shootouts, but natural progression, addition to Calvin Ridley, he's going to kind of pick up where he left off, and it hasn't been the case. Not that we're upset with a 6-2 record, so we're asking you, what kind of second half do you anticipate for Trevor? One of the things he was asked yesterday was, how do you keep momentum when you come in with a 5-game winning streak, but you break it up with the bye?
We still feel that momentum, that energy that we left with, when we took the week off. But you got to find a way to kind of get that edge back, because it is, you're kind of relaxing, getting your body back underneath you. You have to. It's a long season. We played, 8 tough games in a row, and then now we got a nice stretch. So you got to give your body a chance to rest. But now it's today in practice, and it started on Monday, really. We had a lighter practice, and just getting our legs back under us and getting that edge and practicing hard. That's where it starts. You can't just walk out there Sunday and expect to play with that edge if you didn't all week in practice. So I think that's where it starts really today, and as we practice every day of the week.
No doubt. And one of the things we all can point to on an area where they need to improve coming out of the bye compared to the first half of the season is third down, short yardage. Both of those situations, sometimes short yardage on third down has been an issue for this football team as well. But Trevor was asked about needing to improve in those 2 areas.
Yeah, it's like I said, we've talked about it a few weeks. I mean, that's an emphasis for us that we got to get better at, and that's where a lot of times, especially playing good teams, you win games, is being able to stay on the field on third down. Also, not being in as many third downs. It's, you don't have to be first, second, third down every sequence. It's nice to be able to hit a first down or on second down, and so it's all. I think those are all part of it. We got to be better on short yardage. That's something that we've been talking about. We've been emphasizing.
All right, and look, one thing that's going to help the offense overall. Do you have a particular comment on? It looks like you're the cat that ate the canary over there.
No, I'm just the
social media feedback at the moment.
It's just I feel like what Trevor must have felt like when he saw the picture of him with Manning hair the other night. It just throws you for just like it upsets the equilibrium, and yeah, it's going to take a while to get that back.
Honestly, it's not the hair; it's the forehead that does it.
Yes.
Because the hair looks fine, it looks normal, and like if you didn't scroll all the way, it just looks like a normal picture. But I would encourage ESPN to maybe when you're one of those on the phone, you know what I mean? When Mike DiRocco is reporting from Everbank Stadium, but they don't have a video feed, throw that bad boy up there, ESPN. All right, one more here on the Jags side of things, and we'll get to Trevor's thoughts next hour on some of the opponents they'll be facing this week. But Zay Jones, how much are they missing him? How much would having him back help this offense?
It would help. He's one of our better players for sure, and he's a great player and really smart guy that's obviously been in this system now for going on 2 years. A guy that I have a ton of chemistry with, just getting reps together for 2 seasons. So he would help. But the reality of it is where we're at, and we're letting Zay get healthy and take his time. And so whenever that is, whether it's this week, next week, 3 weeks, that's not for any of us to decide. He's got to get healthy, and we got his back in that.
Trevor Lawrence, that was such, to me, a subtle answer in the way I heard it. Here he is. He's like the CEO of the football team, right? Everything he said is going to get dissected into a million different parts. And so he props up, I could use Zay. Got tremendous chemistry, been a great player. But just the inflection that he says it, he'd help. But, he's saying, without saying it, I got Christian Kirk, I got Evan Ingram, I got Calvin Ridley. He's saying he doesn't want to go, oh, my God, we need Zay Jones back, because then you're, is he taking a shot at his other guys? They're not good enough to get the job done. I thought that was a very diplomatic answer, and it just kind of rolled off of his tongue right there. Am I reading too much into that?
Look, he's been doing this with the media since he was 13, 12, 14
Sure.
years old. He's pretty darn good at it. Look, the way he handled how do you feel about being London's team from Peyton and Eli? And, I love being Jacksonville's team.
Yes.
I mean, that could have gone really badly.
With no ill intent.
Just knocked it out of the park. And I told him, I saw him in the locker room yesterday. I was like, you just absolutely handled that the most perfect way. I mean, you saw it, and all of a sudden there's all those tweets and the quotes from him. It was blowing up on social media from Jags fans, and I'm like, he's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah.
He knows how to handle those situations.
So what about Zay and his absence? And
I don't think it'll be back this week.
Oh, not at all. No, I'm just being how concerned are you that it's lingered this long, and how much is this impacting what the Jags are able to do right now, not having him?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. It seems like, he was ready to go in that Buffalo game, and he got cleared, and then he just kind of tweaked it again.
Because I remember Doug that week, I think it was that week, saying he and Walker Little were both day-to-day.
Right.
And then it took Walker a couple more weeks to get back, and then he was active last week, and obviously it's been a longer process for
Yeah,
Zay.
it just hadn't responded. Got the second opinion type of thing. There seems to be agreement now on where they are and what the plan is going forward. It's been an impact for sure, because there's nobody on the other side that the defenses has to worry about going over the top. They just don't. I mean, Christian Kirk is the slot guy, and he has gone over the top at times, but Zay is that consistent threat there. Tim Jones just doesn't do it. And putting Jamal Agnew out there on the left or other side of Ridley doesn't do it either. And it's not Cooks or –
Why not? Why not?
They're just not ready at this point.
How do we know that?
Well,
I guess because they're not playing.
If they were ready, they would be out there.
But what
if
is
the staff did? Let's rephrase that. The staff doesn't feel they're ready.
Okay.
And honestly, if you run Elijah Cooks or Jacob Harris out there, the defense is not going to worry about those guys.
Which could be good, right? I mean, because you're going to get them singled up against not the top corner.
He just spent talking about, and now the other one's up. So he
you just closed the computer. We got it. We got the long hair version.
So he just spent talking about all the chemistry that he's built with Zay and all those other guys, and now you're throwing a guy out there that you don't have the chemistry with. So look. It would help. I mean, look, they're 6-2 without him, so it's not like they're 2-6 without him. Do they need him? Absolutely. Does that offense function a little bit better when he's there? Absolutely. But he's right. Evan Ingram has been lights out. He's on pace for over 100 catches. Christian Kirk's been fantastic. He's on pace. I'm trying to talk here. I don't need that in the background, okay?
Everyone's seeing D-Rock with the Trevor hair for the first time.
I'm going to send that to – never mind.
I just don't worry. I just made sure that's out there to
I appreciate you.
I only have 25,000 people seeing that.
Love you. Yeah. You're my guy. He's my guy.
You were making a point?
Yeah. Look, if they thought those other guys were ready or could help them, they'd put them out there.
Yeah.
There's nothing against those other guys. I mean, they're just people ask me, why isn't Elijah Cooks out there? Well, the coaching staff doesn't think he's good enough to play.
Or they don't think he's more reliable than Tim Jones.
Exactly.
At this
they
point.
love Tim Jones because Tim Jones is a very good blocker.
Right. You can hear it in the comment we just played from Trevor Lawrence. He has chemistry with Zay Jones.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's why they miss him in the offense, because that's another piece that Trevor has practiced with the last 2 years as a starter on this team. With him out of it, okay, maybe someone else steps in the lineup because we need somebody to be on the field in the spots we wanted Zay Jones on the field. But it's not somebody that Trevor Lawrence has thrown the ball to who knows how many times.
He knows exactly where Zay is going to be, exactly where Zay's cut's going to
Right.
be. They're on the same page. If something breaks down, stop smiling.
Well, I'm looking at who's reposting this right now. Jamal St. Cyr, John Shipley, Demetrius Harvey.
Okay, I want to see you guys in about an hour and a half.
I
okay?
love you, gentlemen.
Like
every one of you.
It's going to get feisty in that media workroom.
I'm telling you, if Gene Fournette knew how to save a photo to his phone, you'd be in big trouble.
Oh, please.
Right?
Would I rather stare at the photo of the turkey or that? I'm going to take that.
What about the trash can? What about the trash can?
Oh, I should tell you, I got in trouble for imitating that one time. I'll have to tell you that story.
The trash can post?
Yeah.
I think you did.
Did I tell you that?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
It's not airable. Can't tell that story.
No, I could probably tell it, but we're talking about Zay Jones and Elijah Cooks.
Finish your thought on Zay Jones.
Where the hell were we going?
It's our
He's
fault.
not going to know where those
We're distracting
guys.
you.
They're on the same wavelength. So you run Elijah Cooks or Jacob Harris out there, and this is not a shot at either one of those guys. But if something breaks down, he knows where Zay Jones is going to be, where Zay Jones is going to go, what he's thinking, the signals between those two. So yeah, and it's not just something practicing 2 weeks. Oh, he'll pick that up. You know what I mean?
Did you say something? I do know what you mean. It was a point well made.
Like, Steve Griffin is going to have to really up the ante for me to come back in here and take this abuse on a weekly basis.
Sport Clips, advertising opportunity right now, okay? Put a banner on his forehead, don't look like this. Come to Sport Clips for the MVP, right? Free plug for you, Sport Clips.
This is just the total because there was a bye week and we have no game to talk about.
It's fantastic. Need more bye weeks. All right, we'll come back. Tony's going to take us around the league. Got a few more thoughts from Trevor on the opponents that they'll be facing, some of the individual players the Niners will be rolling out there that he'll have to be wary of this weekend along with his offensive teammates. Breakfast Bowl next hour as well. Go check out D-Rock and all his glory, both with the Manning cut and the Trevor cut out there on social media right now. This is Jaguars Today, halfway home on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, is your vehicle in need of a little tender, loving care? Well, if so, bring it to the experts at Tire Outlet and enjoy their expertise. Over 40 years of experience, 14 locations around the First Coast. Tire Outlet's the brand you can trust. I do. I bring my vehicle there all the time. Whenever I need service, tires, Tire Outlet's at the top of the list with certified technicians to do the job right to get you in and out in no time flat. Free tire rotations, free brake inspections, rebate offers on brand name tires, and yes, a legendary price match guarantee on every set of brand new tires. I'm talking about Tire Outlet, where you always get wholesale prices and premium service.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
JOI, where the pros go. Catch high school football play-by-play on 1010XL.
It's round one of Region 1 2M playoffs. Bishop Kenny at Bowles. Friday night at 7:30 on 1010 AM and 92.5 FM.
Feeling the chill as temperatures drop? Your home should be your warm haven. But what if it's not? Don't let the cold sneak in. Let Duck Duck Air Conditioning tackle the issue. Our expert techs will have your heating system up and running in no time. Go ahead, get your comfort back. Contact Duck Duck Air Conditioning at 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Air Conditioning, where your comfort comes first, no matter the weather. 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckac.com.
More than qualified to handle your roof. Call J&M and we'll show you the proof. Check with our customers and they all say only one way to go, the J&M way.
We take pride in doing quality work at a fair price. And you can finance your new roof for as low as $139 per month. J&M Roofing, under the umbrella. Call 904-337-0509.
License number CCC 1331951.
Experience the Kanaya Water Systems difference, bringing purity and affordability right to your tap. Say goodbye to hard water woes and hello to clean, soft water for your family. Search KENAI Water Jacksonville.
Are you looking for increased privacy and protection for your family and pets? Look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Superior Fence and Rail is Jacksonville's top-rated fence company, delivering the highest quality fence products. They'll treat your property as if it's their own. So get off the fence and get your privacy back. Call Superior Fence and Rail today for your on-site estimates.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Bold City Brewery, established in 2008, the oldest craft brewery in Jacksonville, and proud to celebrate 15 years of brewing great beers in Duval. With 2 locations serving delicious beers, seltzers, and ciders produced in-house, 1 location located in downtown Jacksonville, and the production facility and restaurant located off of Roselle Street in Riverside. Bold City Brewery, striving to have something for everyone and keeping the tradition of brewing great beers and serving fantastic food in Jacksonville. Log on and taste the craft at boldcitybrewery.com.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Introducing Fast Twitch, a new energy drink from Gatorade. Developed with 200 milligrams of caffeine to help athletes focus the mind and power the body for athletic performance. Great flavors like strawberry watermelon, glacier freeze, cool blue, and tropical mango, all designed to ignite athletic performance. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Fast Twitch, official partner of the NFL and used by the pros. On-the-go energy from Gatorade.
Huge Glock sale going on now at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Stop in today with prices on Glock sidearms so good we can't even say it on this radio commercial. No lines, no hassle, only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about enjoying your life. So often we can go through life trying to make a living instead of making a life. Yes, it's good to be goal-oriented, but let me encourage you today that our days are numbered. We're not promised tomorrow, so go out and take time to be with your family. You'll always have your work, but you won't always have your family.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
Visionaries, builders, and doers. Are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season
finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Follow every Gators game on 1010XL. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors, the official window and door replacement company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Here's your 1010XL local sports updates, sponsored by Batteries Plus. Miami Hurricane head coach Mario Cristobal says the time is always right for the spectacle of a college football rivalry.
It's always a good time for a rivalry, right? That's what college football has always been and will always be about.
Billy Napier, Gator head coach, wants his players to avoid frustration by trusting in the process.
You got to remain process-oriented, independent of the result. It's easy to do when you win. It's hard to do that and keep perspective when you lose.
In local collegiate sports, UNF men's basketball will take on Charleston Southern. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. this evening. The JU Lady Dolphins women's basketball team, they'll face off against the Miami Hurricanes. Game time is 11 a.m. At your 1010XL local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson on 1010XL at 92.5 FM.
At 11:07, it's 77 degrees. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mike DeRocco, Thursday on Jaguars Today, is brought to you by Lloyd's Heating and Air on 1010XL.
All right, if you had one shot to put a hairdo on Mike DeRocco, what would you choose? I think the funny thing is, Dylan comes back to the song and, in way of explanation, whispers in her ear, D-Rock has lost himself. Like, that's the connection everyone's supposed to make with this right now.
One shot.
By the way, Pockets, embarrassingly low Twitter count at 398 with the followers.
What do I need to get to?
I don't know, man. I need like 10 instant followers for Pockets at a minimum to see if this show has any kind of reach whatsoever. I'm sure some of the hardcore folks are watching you out there, but you never know. Maybe we'll just start breaking news through Pockets' Twitter feed right there. Not that we break news much on this program.
They probably can't tear their eyes away from those other photos that are out there.
Probably that. It's probably that. Boy, our man Al loved your open today, D-Rock.
Yeah, big shout out, Al.
Said the intro got him about ready to jump out of the back of his box truck and run down Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. You did that intro right, so you'll get to hear it again tomorrow, Al.
10 a.m.
Bringing it back. 10 a.m.
Wonder if Al gets that fired up listening to Billy Napier talk.
No. Unless it's just anger and bile rising up, right?
He has no anger.
Could be that.
None.
Or has he numbed everyone? I don't know. I miss sometimes not being able to talk about other subjects on this show, but that's one that we'll not delve into.
We have come close to jumping off the rails here, haven't we?
And, hey, welcome to Jaguars Today and Sports Talk Radio in general. All right, Breakfast Bowl coming up, but we got to take you around the rest of the National Football League.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
The Houston Texans have signed linebacker Corey Littleton to their active roster off of the New Orleans Saints practice squad. Running back Dameon Pierce did not participate in practice on Wednesday after missing their game last week. He's one of 23 players that were listed on the injury report, 18 of which were limited or did not practice on Wednesday for the Texans. The Texans have opened the 21-day practice window for cornerback Derek Stingley Jr., so he's working his way back. The Minnesota Vikings have opened the 21-day practice window for wide receiver Justin Jefferson. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell said on Wednesday that he is unlikely to play this week. The New York Giants have named rookie quarterback Tommy DeVito as their starter for this week against Dallas. Cincinnati wide receiver Jamar Chase did not practice on Wednesday as he continues to try to work through a back injury he suffered on Sunday Night Football. The Arizona Cardinals have designated running back James Conner to return from their IR list. He was a limited participant in practice on Wednesday. Quarterback Kyler Murray did not appear on the Cardinals' Wednesday injury report, so certainly still on track to start this week. Atlanta wide receiver Drake London was a limited participant in practice Wednesday after missing their game last week due to a groin injury. Detroit running back David Montgomery was a full participant in practice on Wednesday. Montgomery has missed several weeks with an injury to his ribs. Philadelphia linebacker Nakobe Dean will be seeing a foot specialist before determining a course of action, but he is believed to have suffered a Liz Frank injury and is expected to be placed on injured reserve for the second time this season. And Week 10 in the NFL gets underway tonight with the 1-7 Carolina Panthers at the 2-7 Chicago Bears at 8:15 on Amazon Prime Video. The Bears have listed quarterback Justin Fields as doubtful for tonight's game.
Yeah, and this is one of those ones when you're protecting your own investment in the draft by winning because the Bears own Carolinas, and they have the easier path to the overall number one pick at the moment. So either way, if you're Bears fans, Trevor's draft we talked about at the outset. Oh, this is a great quarterback draft, right? It's just loaded with quarterbacks. And right now you're like, oh, Caleb Williams, Drake May. Dion says Shedeur Sanders not interested in coming out. They said he's worth $4.6 million a year right now, NIL-wise.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. I mean, it's just I wonder now if we're going to see more of these guys go, I can make $4 million sitting here for another year. You know what I mean? Not get exposed, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing if your stock's going to fall off. Hard to believe Shedeur Sanders is not going to put up eye-popping numbers again next year.
I wonder, because that's all sponsorship dollars, right? I wonder what a guy like Trevor Lawrence made in sponsorship money his first year in the league, right? Like, how big of a chunk of change was that? Because I think the salary comparisons get made for these guys compared to the college kids, but that's not really what's being compared. It's the sponsorship dollars plus your salary is what you'd be getting in the NFL. And a premier quarterback, wherever he goes, he's going to have however many sponsorship deals he wants.
What is Bryce Young getting, though? Like, because he had a lot of NIL stuff prior to coming to the league.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right. He was one of the most active NIL guys out there.
All those Alabama guys got a ton.
Yeah, and understandably so. Anyway, point being, you just don't know. You think, don't worry, there'll be 2 or 3 good quarterbacks. Maybe.
You
know, and you got to get the right one. And if you're sitting there, man, Justin Fields is just like, I've got to be thinking, get me back on this field as quickly as possible. I need to win a couple of games to get us out of range here. But, then you got the problem. Well, they also have Carolina's pick, So they're going to be in position to get one, or they're going to be in position to get another draft haul from some team looking to move up next year. Isn't it nice that that's the extent of the draft talk we need to delve into in the month of November? All right, draft talk done for the month of November. And December, by the way. It's also weird to me, just looking at the schedule for the Jags, that we're going to hit December, and they're still going to have a half dozen games left when December gets here. That's kind of nuts compared to, old man here, but, like, I'm pretty sure I remember the regular season wrapping up, like, the third week of December. When I was coming up, because the Super Bowl would be in January, wasn't in the middle of February, and it wasn't in late January either. It'd be done by the middle of January.
NFL, those couple years where they did 2 bye weeks, remember that? Ugh.
True. Was it? They didn't do it very often, but the networks hated it because it thinned out the schedule too much for them. Honestly, in the end, for our industry, man, we should never complain about a longer season. Keeps the NFL that much more relevant. Basically 10 months out of the year is very relevant, maybe even pushing on 11 when you get out of that month right before training camp. So let's get a few more thoughts from your quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, here. Fred Warner, very tough linebacker, guy you're going to have to account for. What is Trevor Lawrence's scouting report on him?
He's pretty unique. I think the mixture of athleticism and physicality, and he's great versus the run, great versus the pass, can cover guys in man, a great blitzer, really can do it all. There's not a part of his game where you're like, he struggles with that. He can do it all. He's a great player, sideline to sideline, can fly, just has great instincts. And, there's a lot of good linebackers in this league, but I'd say, he's definitely one of the best, maybe the best. I mean, he can play.
As we've mentioned throughout the week, the 49ers have 18 sacks on the season, despite having had Nick Bosa up there the whole year, right? But he's got a new run to make up there in San Francisco. We'll see what that looks like with him and Chase Young. And Trevor was asked about the challenge of facing this defensive front for the 49ers yesterday.
At the end of the day, you gotta win your matchups. You gotta be able to block them. We gotta help our tackles. We gotta get the ball out. We gotta run the ball great. All those things. That's kind of what helps. But at the end of the day, you got to go block them. And when it's two ends, you kind of know what they're going to do. They got to pick a side, and they're going to rush, and they're going to, play with instincts. And those guys are good players. So I would say not having the tape maybe isn't as big a deal when it's an edge guy. But yeah, we got to make some adjustments, I'm sure, as the game goes on.
Going to be interesting. Chase Young's been somewhat of an enigma in his professional career so far, but is having a very solid season, or at least was, with the Commanders. And Randy Gregory is maybe a one-trick pony, but that trick is third down pass rush specialist who can get to the quarterback. And so they've got a lot of options. Those defensive tackles are really active as well and can push the pocket. So fortunately for the Jags, they're going to run out their preferred starting five on the offensive line for only the second time. And the last time it only lasted a series and a half. So let's hope we get the full 4 quarters out of them this time around. All right, let's take a timeout here. A little bit more from Trevor Lawrence late in the program. Again, our Chad and Sandy real estate question today, asking you to predict his touchdown to interception ratio for the remainder of the season. But coming up next, you know what it is, Week 10 of the Breakfast Bowl. Who's buying in Week 11? That's kind of what we'll determine next. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Mike DeRocco, and Dylan Denmark. By the way, people asked, it's at 1010XL Denmark. If you're on Twitter and just searching pockets, you may not find it right there. But give him a follow if you are so inclined out there in the social media realm. And we'll come back with more Jaguar discussion here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Feeling great. You know what? One of the biggest things is my joints, my knees. Man, I'm not in a great spot with some of my joints. The older you get, you know what I'm talking about. Well, do this. Put about 50 pounds in a backpack and lug that around for a few days. Well, I've taken off a bunch of weight, and it's been dramatic weight loss with Awaken 180. My knees feel better. I can walk around the neighborhood, play golf more comfortably, and not be in pain. And it's in large part thanks to Awaken 180, and not only losing the weight with those folks, but finding a system to help me manage to keep it off. Maintenance is such a big part of weight loss. If you've been out there and you've had those yo-yo diets in the past, Awaken 180 is not a diet. You eat to lose weight. I lost my weight in September, and in October and November, I've been able to keep that weight off so far. So if you want to get involved and find out how you can drop the pounds and keep them off, call 844-346-1800 and reserve a consultation with Awaken 180. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
JOI, where the pros go. Unwrap the football weekend.
That's going to take a while. Then you better get started.
Sink your teeth into Dandy Foods Postgame Monday.
So, where do we go from here?
Get entertaining insight on Sunday's games all day Monday.
Let me guess.
On 1010XL.
Exactly.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Listen up. This weekend, you'll immediately, why can I say immediately? Come see why. Come see we. I can't say that line. In a lifetime, Beaver's tour. I've not lost it. We know we aren't perfect, but we try every day to do our very best to provide the wow experience you deserve, and we're so grateful for all our amazing customers. Visit us at Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville to see just how much we appreciate you.
It's your go-to for golf talk. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
All we need to do is develop the rest of your game. Then you'll be unstoppable, son.
Get local updates, gear reviews, and all things golf talk. Saturday mornings at 10 on 1010XL.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Folks, the First Coast has voted. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is proud to be chosen as Bold City's best in 4 categories: Best Orthopedic Practice, Physical Therapy, Pain Management, and Foot Care Clinic. For the last 30 years, JOI has continually strived for the highest level of orthopedic surgery and rehab care. As the needs of the community evolve, so will they. That's why coaches, parents, and athletes choose JOI. Call them at JOI 2000 or visit JOI.net. JOI, where the pros go.
Mia O'Brien.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
On XL Primetime from noon to 3, on Helmets and Heels Tuesday nights.
I swear to you, I know her.
And you can follow me on the 1010XL video and social media channels.
I would know her voice anywhere.
All Things Mia is driven by Arlington Toyota.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Did you know that all graduates of Local 234's apprenticeship program are licensed journeymen? That means all plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC techs will have hundreds of hours of experience and have passed the Jacksonville City Licensed Journeyman exam. They're the best trained and safest skilled tradespeople in the industry. Don't leave yourself exposed to inadequate workmanship or even danger. Always hire a licensed journeyman. Local 234. Make the right connection. Equal opportunity employer.
Problems followed by promises followed by proof. That's the game plan for Chad and Sandy. When it comes time for you to sell your home, there is no problem that they can't promise to fix and ultimately give you the proof. Maybe you have a growing family or you're working from home and you need more space. Trust Chad and Sandy. They're the real estate expert that I would trust and recommend for the sale of your home. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Take Randall and Tammy in Keystone Heights. They say we needed to sell fast to move closer to Mom, who needed help. Sadly, our home was listed with another realtor for over 190 days. We heard Chad and Sandy's guarantee on the radio. We hired them. They launched an amazing marketing plan, sold our home in less than 30 days. We left as soon as the offer was official, and Chad and Sandy handled all the rest. That promise, if they don't sell your home, they will buy it. Call the agents I trust and recommend. Chad and Sandy at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and beautiful people all across the world. Let's get ready for the Breakfast Bowl Challenge!
Mike Torraco on Jaguars Today is kept comfortable by Lloyd's Heating and Air on 1010XL.
All right, here we go. Breakfast Bowl, Week 10. D-Rock bought for all his friends today. Second week in a row, D-Rock went down in flames. Tony, give us a recap of last week.
Here's what happened in Week 9. I won the week at 107.3. Dempsey was second, 92.52. Then Pockets with Austin Eckler scoring late on Monday Night Football got the third with 80.12, and then D-Rock buying for the second week in a row was 78.6, and there's a bit of separation happening in the standings between the tops and the bottom, right? Like it's Dempsey and I still pretty much neck and neck. We're about 35 points separated between the two of us. I'm leading to this point in the season. Pockets was down like 120 points like 2 weeks ago. He has cut that deficit to 11 behind D-Rock. In the overall standings this year, 648 to 659 between those two. Obviously, there's no punishment for coming in last.
I thought it was a year supply of cereal of your choice. Is that not the case anymore?
No.
We're not going with that?
We need to get a fan to make a dead-ass last trophy. And then like we could have it.
Or maybe whoever comes in dead-ass last has to make the
we
trophy.
used to have a trophy. It was just the donkey. Like whoever lost the league would just pass the donkey around. Yeah.
The donk.
Yep.
Call it the donk. All right, we'll work on that. We're halfway through the season. We go all 18 weeks. The trick is, once you use a player, can't use them again. We draft a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and a flex. It's not a super flex, so that last spot can be a running back, wide receiver, or a tight end. It is point per reception scoring for you fantasy nerds like us out there, and we go in reverse order of last week's finish. So D-Rock, Dylan, myself, and Tony, and then a little bit of a snake draft after that. So D-Rock, I know you don't want to buy Vittles 3 weeks in a row. Who are you going to start off with?
Yeah, I'm a little confused as to which way I should go here, but I think I'm going to take Breece Hall.
Well, that was right there written who D-Rock is going to take with the first pick is Breece Hall. So I saw that coming, and I played out my alternatives. All right, Pockets. Well, I do. I think that's the right pick for you this week, Breece Hall. I really put more time into this one because now we're getting to the point where it's like, well, he can't use him, and I can use him, and when do I take this guy? All right, so Pockets, Breece Hall is off the board. Not that you could have used him. See, I know that. Because I did some studying last night. What do you got?
I got Alvin Kamara, or whoever some call him Alvin Kamara. Is it Kamara or Kamara?
I asked him that question, and his response was whatever is easier for you.
I hope he performs as crappy for you as he did for me.
I go with Kamara because that's what the Saints broadcasters go with. Like, think bitching Kamara, okay? All right, that's the way. That's what it sounds like. Like bitching Kamara.
It's a Kamara.
Like a Kamara. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take Christian Kirk. With the first pick. I was on that Niner podcast last night, and we're talking about their slot corner, and Rob Guerrero's like, oh, he sucks. I mean, he's just like, he's terrible. And I've been looking at this matchup all week, so give me some Christian Kirk. Tony Smith, back-to-backers.
I will go Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Okay. I like it. All right. Give me Derrick Henry.
All right.
Okay. Back to you, Dylan. Kamara.
Let me get Michael Pittman, Colts wide receiver.
We'll let you get him. You got him. Michael Pittman Jr. D-Rock, Breece Hall. You want to load up? Good week to load up on the Jets, I feel. Zach Wilson here, maybe Tyler Conklin.
I want all of that guy.
Get it all, baby.
I'm going to go with Dak.
Dak it is. All right, Dak was high on my QB list this week, for sure. All right, Dak comes off the board.
Another one for
get
D-Rock.
another one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. My bad.
DeAndre Hopkins.
All right. DeAndre Hopkins it is. Dylan.
Tight end Dalton Kincaid.
Okay. All right. I am going to go tight end Dalton Schultz. Okay. Schultz off the board. Tony?
Writing that one in. Let's see. I will go DK Metcalf.
Okay.
And
that's your flex right there.
Yep, and Tony Pollard.
Okay. Pollard. All right, here's the question. I know what the question is to myself.
But we're about to get the answer.
I just...
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to play a little strategy here. Like, I thought at this point I might be taking Dak. And there's another big-time quarterback out there that we haven't used, but he's always got a good matchup because every time he plays, he puts up big points.
Sure.
I'm going to take Geno Smith.
Okay.
This week.
He was number 2 on my quarterback list.
Yeah,
this week.
and offsets a little bit of your DK Metcalf. Dylan, quarterback or a flex, please?
I want a quarterback. And, Joe Burrow.
Okay, Joe Burrow.
You're going to have a conversation with the young man about the game.
Yeah, everybody had the quarterback locked in. Could have waited on that one. But then again, maybe he has a flex that nobody else can use. Who knows?
We'll see.
D-Rock, you got Dak, you got Breece Hall, you got DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
You have luscious hair
I'm going to go with Taysom Hill.
Okay.
And my last pick, right?
Yes, sir.
Because everybody else had used him, Stephon Diggs.
Okay. Diggs it is. Almost took his quarterback. Yeah, but I didn't. Pockets, flex.
Tyler Lockett.
That questionable tag doesn't bother you at all, right? I'm not going to worry about that, right? I'm going to sweat it.
Find out.
Look, he hasn't missed a game this year. I think he plays.
Yeah.
I'm going to take CD Lamb.
CD.
And he's now off the board. Last one to use him. Tony, got a tight end here.
Yeah. I don't want to go all in on that.
You want to go with Laporta?
No. I had him on my list, but that was just in case other things didn't go the way that I wanted them
You were the only ones who can use him, Tom.
Yeah.
So
I will go Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry, it is. All right, there you go. All right, here we go. D-Rock goes with Dak Prescott, Breece Hall, DeAndre Hopkins, Taysom Hill, and Stephon Diggs. Dylan going Joe Burrow, Alvin Kamara, Michael Pittman, Dalton Kincaid, and Tyler questionable Lockett. I'm going to roll with Geno Smith, Derrick Henry, Christian Kirk, Dalton Schultz, and CeeDee Lamb. Tony's going Jared Goff, Tony Pollard, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Hunter Henry, and DK Metcalf. So, Breakfast Bowl locked in for week number 10, and we're right on time with the clock, which makes the boss very happy. We'll come back, and we'll hear a little bit more from Trevor Lawrence and take a look and go kind of roundtable on what we think is likely for Trevor's production in the second half of the season. Still time for you to send in any Photoshopped pictures of Mike DiRocco to our Twitter accounts. We would appreciate them. Any hairstyles you want to give to him, we'll be happy to pass those along. Heck, I don't care. I'll retweet bad photos of me, too. There's really the only kind you can come up with. So go right ahead and hit us up there. But do give a follow to 1010XL Denmark as well while you're busy there in the Twitter sphere. All right, we'll come back. One final segment to go here. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Studios.
JOI, where the pros go. 1010XL brings you the orange and blue.
He's in! Touchdown Gators!
Who has the bigger bite? It's a duel in Death Valley, Florida, LSU. Kickoff at 7:30 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010XL.
Are you fed up with your old, unreliable AC system? Then you'll love Bolt City Heating & Air's Black Friday Trade-In Extravaganza, going on all month. It's the deal of the season. They're offering a whopping $2,400 trade-in cash for your old AC system, so you can upgrade to a brand new, energy-efficient unit. That's right, $2,400 toward a comfortable, worry-free holiday season. It's the Black Friday sale that lasts all month, only at Bolt City Heating & Air and BoltCityAC.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about enjoying your life. So often we can go through life trying to make a living instead of making a life. Yes, it's good to be goal-oriented, but let me encourage you today that our days are numbered. We're not promised tomorrow, so go out and take time to be with your family. You'll always have your work, but you won't always have your family.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
No dental insurance? No problem. Introducing the Care Plus program from the dental offices of Dr. James McCall. For only $625 per year, you will receive 2 cleanings and dental exams, a full set of x-rays, plus 1 emergency dental exam and x-ray. You'll also receive a 20% discount on all other services offered. Kids 12 and under will receive the same program for only $525. Call Dr. McCall today at 620-9225.
I'm just happy to have a roof over my head. You've heard that saying a bunch, probably through the years, but what if it leaks? That's never good. Who do you call? How can you be sure they're any good? Who to trust? Well, remember this. Preferred Roofing guarantees to educate and inform their customers on such a big decision as replacing a roof. Let their consultants help you make an informed choice that you're sure to feel good about. Master Elite Certified Contractors, Preferred Roofing is who you need to call. Tell them Joe C. sent you.
Tim Pearson here, founder of Chattanooga Whiskey. Did you know that Chattanooga Whiskey was awarded Craft Producer of the Year by Whiskey Magazine? We spent years perfecting our unique style of bourbon we call Tennessee High Malt. Try a bourbon that's truly best in craft today. Drink Chattanooga Whiskey, enjoy responsibly.
I'm Taylor Dahl on your Gator Station. 1010XL is your pipeline to Gator Nation. Listen for the Gator Report all year round.
Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts. On the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go Gators!
Pastor Joby Martin here with the Church of 1122. We are honored once again to partner with the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for the Great Futures Weekend, which includes golf and Mackenzie's 5K run at the esteemed TPC Stadium course. Help us continue to honor Mackenzie Wilson's legacy. That's Friday and Saturday, November 17th and 18th. You can golf or you can run. It'll be a great time. Additional info at MackenzieRun.org. Proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida.
The year is almost over. Do you need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt-free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit can get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Listen, if you have a ton of equity in your house and Loan Pronto can help you turn that equity into cash, you can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards, pay off personal loans, or start that home improvement project. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact. So your 3% rate, it's protected. And with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line program, 90% of the time, there's no need for an appraisal. So you can get your money super fast. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards before the new year. Get yourself on solid financial footing before the year ends and call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving, they can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trust a company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
Be here and be loud as the Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans Sunday, November 19th. Be at the bank for this divisional rivalry when Trevor Lawrence leads the team in an exciting matchup. Plus, join us as we celebrate Salute to Service and honor our military all game day long. Seats may be sold out, but a limited number of standing room only tickets are still available, so don't miss your chance to be there. Visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000 now.
This is Dr. James Perry, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jags' only 2 losses of the season have both come from playing at home. Coach Peterson gave his thoughts on the home matchup this Sunday.
You know, we haven't played our best football at home, which is crazy. You know, those 2 early games that we didn't play very well, and you know, those are all things that we have to do better. Right? We're playing in front of our fans. We're at home, our stadium, our locker room. We got to feed off the energy, obviously, of the crowd and play our best football.
Doug Peterson, visit Jaguars.com for more. JTA Game Day Express is back. Save gas and avoid parking hassles as the Jaguars take on the San Francisco 49ers this Sunday. Let them do the driving. With 5 locations and passes starting at $10 on the MyJTA app. To learn more, visit JTAFLA.com. I'm Molly McDonald with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mike DeRocco on Jaguars Today is kept comfortable by Lloyd's on 1010XL.
Shining, steaming, flaxing, waxing. Great music.
D-Rock, what'd you start, man?
I didn't start anything. Dempsey started. If he doesn't retweet the photo, none of this happens.
That's not true. DJ Delphonic's got quite the following out there on social media. Here's what just went down. I need to buy D-Rock a can of full English breakfast right now as a way of thanking him. I spent more time putting together my breakfast bowl cheat sheet this week than I have maybe all the weeks going into it. Because we're getting to that point now, right, where you got to be very careful about who's taking whom, when you take certain guys. And somehow, despite all that,
and your expertise in fantasy football,
it means nothing, okay? Because I had Breece Hall, who I already had used, number 1 on my list this week. So when I said I knew you were going to take him, I was like, you kind of took my guy, but I pivoted. I X'd out. Like, here's the plan. If D-Rock doesn't take Hall, Pocket's already used him. I got Breece Hall. And I've already used him. Oh, that would have been
golf first.
Bad.
Darn it.
I would have got a big fat 0. Tony just said, I'm the only one left with Hall. I'm like, that's not right. And I looked, and it is right.
Oh.
Wow. All that preparation.
I did the right thing, and it didn't work for everybody.
I know. It worked for me, buddy. Let me tell you what. Holy smokes. That was about to be. Has anyone really done that?
Not this year.
Not yet.
Yeah, we've been a little bit more careful about that whole situation.
The first year was chaos because the lists that were given to us were in the order of when you picked them.
Yeah, it's not alphabetical.
Not alphabetical. So it was more like, where's Waldo? Like week to week, it's like, have
I missed him. Right.
Oh, man.
That and E.T. would just like, I felt like E.T. at the last minute would go, I forgot to put tight ends on my list. And E.T. would take a tight end. I mean, it felt like 4 times E.T. took a tight end that he had already used or was out for the week or was on a bye or something like that. It was always tight end.
Yeah, it was always tight end.
Always tight end. So.
Hey, Tony, have you ever taken someone you used before?
Yeah.
I know I did.
The first year I took Amari Cooper. It was exactly that.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't remember that.
Like he was lost on the list. And
I'm pretty sure I've done it too.
And I'm pretty sure D-Rock was the one that you've used him. I was like, where? And so I'm going back through. It's like, there it is. Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah. Full English breakfast for you, all right?
Extra
beans.
I still have the 2 cans of it left.
Well, eat up, all right?
Yeah, okay.
Man! That would have ruined, honestly, me mentally for the next 24 to 48 hours, right? Because I got a fantasy show tonight and tomorrow, and all I've been thinking about is, how can I have missed Breece Hall on my list?
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. All right, Pockets, why don't we get to today's 10-10 take?
10-10
take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take. Brought to you by J&M Roofing Jacksonville, your storm restoration specialists.
I just feel so good right now. It's like, you ever have Pockets the other day?
It's a near-death experience is what you had.
He was driving down the highway. Pockets, what happened? You were in the lane?
Oh, I just got on I-10, and I got over to the middle lane. The second I got into the middle lane, the car in front of me slammed to the car in front of them. I mean,
the car you would have been behind.
Yes, I would have been right behind them. I would have been in the accident. There's no doubt. And as soon as I got to the middle lane, the car right beside me, it was a Dodge Ram, slammed into the car in front of them. Windshield went kaboom.
And then the rest of your day, you're like, I got a freebie.
Yes.
You know what? I mean, it's fantastic.
I've had that kind of thing. Yeah. Like when I was driving down the road and they passed out. Like that's the only explanation is that they passed out in their car and they went through a stop sign. I mean, 100 feet in front of me and just plowed into traffic going the other way on the other side. It was terrifying.
D-Rock, any close calls for you on the highways or at the barbershop?
No, but yesterday I was going down 95 to Daytona or down to DeLand back in your old stomping grounds.
Yeah, baby. Me and Van Cam.
Somebody blew by me in the left lane, and they were going probably about 85 with staring at their phone the whole way.
Oh.
And about a mile
I'm sorry.
about a mile up the road, they blew past the state trooper, and they clearly were still not paying attention because they went flying, and the trooper was like, "Lights, siren, here we go."
I love it. I do. I love when
applaud.
I love the worst of the worst is the guy who's so important that when it's slow, he goes speeding down the breakdown lane.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't happen very often, but it happened like last week. I saw somebody doing this, and then then they get a little opening, and they weave across 3 lanes, and they're cutting back, and it's like, where is a state trooper when you need him?
Mm-hmm.
And never around. So that is very satisfying.
Well, my son is a deputy in Hillsborough County.
Can you give me his card?
Yeah, he hates it because we'll be like, when he's visiting us or if we're visiting him and I see someone, I'm like, go arrest him, do something, ticket him.
Go get him.
He's off duty. We're going to dinner. I'm like, stop it, go, look, that guy's go do it. So he hates it when I do that.
Do your thing.
They got to have their ID and cuffs just in case something happens. I know they do.
I continually do it because I irritate my children. That's kind of what a dad does.
Yeah, I've gotten to that stage, that's for sure. All right, predict Trevor Lawrence's TD to interception ratio for the final 9 games of the 2023 regular season. It's your Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. I'll give you my take on this, is that I think, the 4 interceptions is not bad where he stands right now. He was 10-6 last year, and it felt like it was happening a lot.
Mm-hmm. One of the interceptions is Tank Bigsby.
Correct. Yeah. Right, off his hands. So, and look, sometimes you get away with a few, but every quarterback gets away with a few.
Absolutely.
That could have been picked as well. So 9-4 is not really that far off, and it's a different team, and they're winning football games. Like, they needed more production out of him last year and didn't get it. And then it clicked, and then the final 9 games, they got it in spades, right? I don't think they'll need it as much, but I do think bye week behind them, everyone generally healthy. I think, provided they don't have any setbacks, they got the best offensive line they're going to have if they can stay healthy here. They'll get Zay Jones back in a few weeks. But again, I don't think they're going to be as many down-to-the-wire shootout, must-win, comeback, fourth-quarter scenarios. So I'm going 12-3 for the final of the season, and it'll end up 21-7, which 3-1 is good. It's not eye-popping. I think a lot of us thought, heck, go look at my Twitter feed and how many predictions for 35 to 40 passing touchdowns for Trevor. But I thought he could get 30 this year, and who knows? Maybe he still does. It would take a phenomenal run at this point. So I'm going 12-3, Tony, for the final 9 games. Where are you at?
I'll go 16-5, and I think it is. Given the teams that are on the schedule here in the back half, you got San Francisco this week, you got Baltimore, you got Cincinnati, you got Houston on the road here, right? Like the games that are left on their schedule, I think it's likely that in those games, it would not be a surprise in any of them if they get the ball in the fourth quarter, need to score to win, right? Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that's the situation they find themselves in those games, because those feel like playoff matchups to some degree, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they're in that kind of situation. I do think his numbers will be different when Zay Jones is on the field versus when he's not. And Zay will be here at some point in the last half of the season. I don't think it's going to happen this week, but at some point in the last half of the season. So 16-4-5 feels about right to
Okay.
me.
I got 12-3. We'll go 16-5 officially. What is yours, D-Rock?
So, I'm going to need y'all to do the math for me. So, I think he gets to 21 touchdowns. So, that's what, 12?
That's 12. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at.
And I think he's probably, I'm going to go 12-4 maybe.
Well, all right. So, we're almost the same.
So, it's roughly about the same.
12-4, 12-3.
But I do think there's a 3 or 4 touchdown game in him at least once in the second half of the season at some point, I think.
I think so, too. But at the same time, you go down the stretch, you look at the way they played it last year. Like, they beat Houston. He didn't have crazy numbers, right? They beat the Jets, and it was just like, don't lose this game, right? Don't find a way to give them anything. And you look at the Jags down the stretch this year, they can get themselves in position with some of these games and may be able to win these games with defense in the run game and not putting themselves in too many stressful situations. Keith on Twitter, a lot of his production talking about Trevor from the pass is taking a hit because of how well ETN is playing. No need to rely on that. Certainly in the red zone, that is a factor, right?
No doubt.
And ETN having a nose for the end zone and being as effective as he has been.
Yeah.
just takes away the need for some of that. And you're arguably your number one red zone weapon in Zay Jones.
I think that's a massive factor in that part of the field, especially.
Big time.
That Zay Jones in there. And when he gets back, maybe that changes the way they run things down there. We'll see.
We got a 26-7 right here. 17-3. A lot in that kind of range right there as far as that goes. I'll read through some of the ones that we got here in a moment. But before we get to that, let's welcome in XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. Keeping 1010XL talking with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire
You
Outlet,
showed him the photo.
Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
All right, Matt Hayes.
I'm
you
leaving.
Like,
I'm
you
just
like
leaving
D-Rock
now.
as
No.
Peyton or you like D-Rock as Trevor? What's your preference?
Let me see him again. I'm going to go with D-Rock as Peyton.
I think, honestly, if it didn't have the 5 head, like if that 4 head was about an inch shorter, it would just look like a normal
Stop looking
photo.
at me like that. It's just
I'm
concerning.
definitely going back and forth right
That's
now.
pretty good, though, right there, right? I love the fact that DJ Delphonic watermarked them with the hashtag Jaguars Today as well. Because these are going to be viral all across the landscape.
cute.
So
Long
since
hair.
you are Trevor Duraco, have you ever heard of like a 4-week bone bruise?
Yeah,
You have?
but I'm not.
Is that not odd? I mean, I'm all you guys. Is that not odd? A 4-week bone bruise with Zay?
Depends on how it responds. You know what I mean? Like,
They say those things can be really, really painful.
depends on where it is too. Like, here's the thing: a bone bruise with your knee. Well, you're kind of aggravating that every time you're moving and running and doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of times when guys tear an ACL, they'll get the bone bruise that goes with it, but it also heals a little bit quicker because they're not putting the weight on the knee.
I'm not questioning his toughness at all. I'm just saying I've never
yeah.
even heard of that. 4 weeks for a bone bruise. Weird.
His initials are MD, and he sometimes plays the doctor on Jaguars
I figure
Today.
because he's down there every
Mike
day,
Duraco.
you might have heard some kind of scuttlebutt that you haven't reported yet. But
What kind of
apparently
scuttlebutt
not.
you got? You got any scuttlebutt?
Apparently not.
Scuttlebutt?
The scuttlebutt I have is I kind of look cute and long hair. I think
You
that's
do.
the scuttlebutt.
I wouldn't go that far.
You look.
You know, we
Yeah.
could.
You
do,
look like a.
You look like the cover of a romance novel.
You look like a guy who lives in a trailer. Is what you look like. To be honest.
You know?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. And I do romance novels often have guys with the spectacles? I don't know if they do. Maybe contacts. Maybe we can get a picture where we can see what you'd look like with
I thought
long
we
hair
were
and
off the
contacts.
rails before. Now we've.
Plus,
really,
those aren't really your glasses either.
Well, they're the ones I used to wear.
Those are old school, right?
Older
Old-
glasses. Yeah.
old
They're now
photo.
you.
I
It's
haven't-
now new updated
Retro.
D-Rock.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
not changed my. What do you call it?
Face?
Profile picture in a while. So.
All right, Matt, what do you got coming up on XL Primetime? Hopefully better than this.
We're going to talk more about D-Rock, either Peyton Manning or Trevor Lawrence. What we're gonna do.
That's all you should
We're gonna
do,
break
right?
that down completely.
Polls aplenty coming your way for the next 3 hours.
Yes, we got Jags. We got Dexter Carter, former FSU star, talking
Nice.
about Miami, Florida State. And we'll talk all Jags, of course.
Have a good show.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, Matt. We'll be listening. Thank you. All right, some predictions on the TD to interception ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Cristiano, 18-1. He's not changing his mind. All right, so 2 touchdowns a game and only mix in 1 pick
That'd be
along the
sweet.
way.
Yeah.
13-3, 18-3, 18-3, 14-5, 20-4. Sign up for that right now. 17-3, 20-3 from our man Mr. Physics. Wishful, 21-3. Probable, 17-3. Wow, probable. 17 touchdowns, final 9 games, probable. A lot of 17-3s. That is the most popular prediction we got. And Andrew, of course, yesterday, you'll remember his prediction yesterday, bold prediction for the second half. Because of all the 400-yard games, I say 19-4.
He had him getting 4.
There have been 4 400-yard games in the NFL this year. Andrew said his bold prediction was Trevor will have 4 in the final 9 games of the season.
Well, that's a bold prediction.
God bless
I mean,
optimism, baby. Absolutely,
look,
that's
if you
bold.
want bold, a lot of people don't understand bold, but that's bold.
Yeah.
I
I
like
saw
it.
a couple people ask, is he still wearing the knee brace? I assume
Yes.
that he is for now. Do we know how long he's planning on wearing it?
We don't. I don't think he knows either. My guess would be the rest of the year, at least into December. But my guess would be the rest of the year.
Okay.
As long as it's not impacting him, there's no reason for him not to wear it.
Okay. Cristiano just clarified, by the way, when he predicted 18-1, because he goes to me, wait, you said 12-3. You mean 6-3, right? So they end up 12-5. He goes, never mind. It's touchdown, interception, not win-loss. At what point did you think they're going 18-1 in their final 9 games, Cristiano? What?
Look, I'm a math is hard kind of guy, but even I got that one. That does
Woo!
not compute.
I'm confused now, and hopefully we've done our part to confuse all of you out there in beautiful Duval, wherever you happen to be. Duval Pride worldwide. The sun never sets.
I'd just like to say that unfortunately, the photos have now reached my ESPN colleagues.
Here we go.
And it's not going to go well.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, hey, ESPN colleagues, give me a few retweets, please, if you don't mind. I appreciate that. And by the way, ESPN colleagues, follow at 1010XL Denmark while you're on there as well. D-Rock, what are you writing about now that we're going to see this weekend?
I don't even know anymore.
Okay. Jaguar-related content?
The trends to watch in the last 9 games of the season.
All right, buddy. Picking the Jags?
Yeah, I think I am, actually.
Okay.
I think they win this close because all of their games seem to be close.
Okay.
But maybe like a 23-20 kind of thing.
All right. That's what we're holding you to. 23-20. We'll make our official predictions tomorrow. Mike DiRocco, excellent. Appreciate your service as always at ESPN DiRocco on the digital pages of ESPN.com, where hopefully we'll have a new avatar for if they don't get that up there in some capacity, that ESPN has really lost its touch. All right. That'll do it for us today. For Mike DiRocco, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Tom McManus joins us tomorrow for a Friday free-for-all here on Keys to Victory Friday, and we'll do that right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studio.